Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I've got the dynamic duo with me. The D&D home sales team is in the house. So we've got Dina and Darren Mitchell from Bennett Realty Solutions. They're one of our top, if not the top team at the brokerage. So they've agreed to kind of share some wisdom, some knowledge, their experiences with us today. So I appreciate you guys being here. Why don't you guys go ahead? Should we let the shy one introduce herself first?
Yep. I was just going to say that we're going to give Dina the first crack at every answer the question.
Every answer, Dina.
So I'm Dina Mitchell. I've been a realtor since 2009, so for about 13 years. And Darren and I got our license together. He actually we went into it wanting to do real estate investing, and he was going to get his license, and then he challenged me to get my license so I could help him if he needed help with open houses and things like that. So we could both have it. So
it's not how I remember it. Okay.
The story I was told was what had happened was who scored the highest on the exam? That's all I want.
Right. Well, I'll say this. I knew I had to let her score higher on one, or else I might, be in the doghouse. So, so actually what happened is I can't remember which one, but I might have scored higher on federal and she might have did state. But I'll tell you one thing, she probably spent lots of hours studying where, I didn't.
Well, that's good.
I definitely put in more hours of studying than he did.
So what's your background? You guys are from the same hometown, right?
Yes, we're from Pennsylvania.
What
the Downingtown, Westchester area.
Yeah. So that's like you look frozen.
All right, can you see you guys?
We can hear you.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on my Ethernet, so I don't know what's going on. And so you guys are from the same hometown. That's close to Philly, right?
Yeah, about 45 minutes from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And we met in 11th grade.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But not at the same high school, right?
No, we went to different high schools. Yeah.
Okay.
Neighboring high schools.
And then you guys started dating and then went off to college.
Yep. We started dating. We dated a little bit in high school, and then we got back together our last year in college. We went to two separate colleges. Yeah.
Okay.
But we were friends in between the whole time.
And then, so what brought you guys to the DMV?
I got an offer from the FDA, and then we relocated here from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was working with accounting firms, and it was very easy for me to find transition down to another office and find another job at the time. So we decided to go ahead and move on down here. We have a lot of friends down here too already as well. So it was pretty, we wanted to have a good change. We're super happy we did. We love it down here. So yeah.
Good. So this was a good move for you. And so you guys have really prospered in your various careers. At some point, you decided to get into real estate. I think, like me, as a real estate investor. What was that like in the decision to get into real estate?
Yeah, so we, I had read the same books most people have, far as real estate investing, and I knew. Oh, and then actually, my dad, my mom, they did real estate investing as well. Of course, I didn't really understand it as well as I do now. When I was growing up, when my dad had several rental properties, and so I think that's where the lifeblood started for me. Is seeing that property management and stuff like that. And then as I, was going into the working world, I kind of knew, I think we both kind of knew that although I was good at it, meaning being an employee and, being able to, demonstrate the skill necessary to obtain leadership and things of that nature. It just wasn't for me. I was just not cut out for it. I was always an entrepreneur. I had several businesses before real estate, before I settled in on real estate. And real estate investing, I always knew that that was one of the key pillars of wealth. And I always believe, I believe there's about five pillars of wealth, and you have to focus on one of them as your primary. And then in real estate became my primary. So as I was looking at properties, I had gotten a real estate agent. I felt like that person was pretty slow to get me to properties and things of that nature. So I decided to get my real estate license. And then once I decided to get my real estate license, that's when she decided to try to figure out who's smarter by doing the real estate test and exam. So, that's pretty much how I got into investing. Yeah. Uh-oh.
My story of how I got my real estate license. I would start off as an investor in the real estate.
Uh-oh. We want to plug you.
Internet. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Internet. So I don't know. I'm not even on the Wi-Fi. But anyway, you did the both of you guys first join Keller Williams?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the both of you guys joined Keller Williams. You were there for what, a few years?
Yeah. So actually, we were over there for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Oh, you were there that long? I didn't realize.
Yeah, for about 11 years.
Wow.
We were with Keller Williams. This is single agents. And actually, I think you were kind of in referral status for a little bit.
Right. Because when we started, when we got our license, I was actually pregnant with our first child. And then, you go into baby mode. And then 2 years later, we had our second child. So I was in referral status, working full time. He was working full time. So, but his license was always active and he was doing it.
And then at some point, you saw the light.
Yes.
Saw the light.
Right.
So how did you? So you joined our brokerage. What was that decision like?
Yeah. So actually, I'd always seen you around from the old, from the exit days and everything. I've always seen you around. And I actually know a couple of people who went to the brokerage. Before I had actually pulled the trigger. And, once I had actually met with you, that was pretty much like, okay, this is a no-brainer. And then also, of course, the way you design your brokerage, to be honest with you, in my mind, is very selfless, pretty much. Because you really design things that benefit us as agents, and, it's not kind of strictly focused on real estate sales, but you're focused on what I like to say is all source real estate, right? So you encourage us to do more than just the real estate sales to build wealth, from everything you're doing. And it was, I'm not getting paid for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. But what I'll say is, like, even since we've been here, you've always kind of, I feel like, been one step ahead of things that are going on to help us. So from, bringing your own mortgage company in, bringing your own title company in, bringing your own, the opportunity for the insurance, all these type of things that are happening, it's just like, you could tell we joined a firm that we wanted to be on the forefront of. And then also, the firm's not too big, it's not too small. You're always available, and I think that was one of the things that I really liked about Bennett was, it's like, if I text you, I'm pretty much going to get a text in about 20, 30 minutes or less. So
now you're putting pressure on me.
Right. So that's what I really like, about things. I mean, your sales calls. I feel like remember the first sales call. I think the first sales call pretty much changed everything for us, right? Because we kind of came over to Bennett, and then with our mindset was just purely on real estate sales and, those type of things. But then we were also measuring probably the wrong key performance indicators or KPIs for ourselves. And when we had your first sales call, that's when, I was really able to focus in on my energy on what I needed to focus in, had enough guidance, had enough crowd encouragement, I'd say, from the rest of the brokerage to really start honing in on, getting a plan together, doing the real estate sales, using the real estate sales commissions to fund our investing. And so that's pretty much,
And I actually, way before the pandemic years ago, you had in-person seminars, and I actually we were trying to make some of them. So I went to a couple of them at lunchtime during the day. So I remember you from actually years ago.
Yeah, actually we went to that too. We went to that too. And actually, due to one of your seminars, you don't know this, but due to one of your seminars, you had a guy at Revere Bank present there, and he funded my first two flip deals, and he funded 3 of my rental properties.
Wow. So, he didn't even give me a referral fee.
That's why I didn't say his name. I just said the guy.
No, but no, all this is good because all this is what I believe in. And I kind of run the brokerage in my own image. And I believe in multiple streams of income. I believe in building generational wealth, not just saying it, but actually doing it. And so I don't believe that you get your real estate license just to sell real estate. You'll make a living and a good living, but you'll never become wealthy. You've got to have multiple streams of income. You have to invest. You've got to, bring in as much passive income into your life. And so that's something that I've always believed from even before I got my real estate license. I bought my first house at 23, a year out of college. And, I've been buying houses ever since, but that's what I believe. I believe we get our real estate license. It's a license to become wealthy if we use it the right way. And so we leverage that license over many different things. One of which is building a team. And I built my real estate team. After my first year selling real estate, I started building a team. It was the best thing that I ever did. And then you guys have built a team, a very powerful team. And so what went into you guys coming together and saying, we're going to leverage, ourselves over many other people and build a team? What was that like?
You want to go first?
So we started getting, because we were working full time, it was getting to be a lot of, we had clients and we needed the help. So the team was there to also help with, help us with what we were doing. Also, Darren's been in a lot of leadership roles where he's managed teams. So he already had the skills and training to manage teams. So it was ideal to start working with the team at this time.
Yeah, I'll just expand on what she said. I mean, we were just getting so busy because we only could do real estate outside of, our employment jobs. And, so there's very little time. So innately, we started to build the team around us to just support us. And then as you were saying earlier, and as you say on all your calls and everything, you have to, if you want to build wealth, it just can't be all about the real estate sales. So, and then also one of the things I love doing is it being in the leadership role and guiding my team and helping people be successful. I think you and I share that trait as far as like just building people up beyond where we are in those type of things, because that's our legacy. We get a kick out of that the most. And so when we really got focused, when we came to your brokerage, we started seeing a lot of success by implementing a lot of the things that you were talking about on the sales calls and stuff like that. And once that happened, there was agents from your brokers that started to reach out to us and say, hey, please form a team, we could use your guidance and things of that nature. And then what ended up happening next was we went ahead and turned the infrastructure that we had that was to support us and face it outward so that we can support other teammates. So it was pretty seamless to be able to support others in their real estate goals and in their achievement, which also kind of satisfied my need to help others and build a legacy through that way. Because it's two things: it's wealth building and then it's legacy building. And legacy building isn't always financial. It's about helping people and things of that nature. So us building a team was kind of seamless, because we already had infrastructure in place for the team that was supporting us to help us. And I think with the combination of me, I always almost say retiring, but I'll say it was resigning from my job. I didn't quite quit because there was no issue. My job was actually great. My job and its benefit was designed to keep me there, because I was super happy. But the urge to be an entrepreneur and control my own destiny is what took over. I decided to resign because I was weighing the options. I said I could keep managing my team, on one hand at my current job, or I could, focus that time on managing and growing a team on the real estate side as well. So I went ahead and resigned back in March, and it's been great ever since so far.
Good. And I see that you have some of your team members. You want to give them a shout out? Some of your team members are on, looks like, I think Cynthia might be on here. Rashida's here. And so the D&D home team is in the house, definitely.
Oh yeah. So that's the beauty of the team. Like I feel like we're all family on the team, but we're definitely results oriented realtors who are going to use real estate sales to fund our dreams and to build other streams of income. And we're definitely focused team, and we have great people, like Rashida, Cynthia Washington, Pia Hawkins, Dream Gregory, Lisa Reed. What am I missing? Did I miss anyone? No. But Christine Prentice.
That's why you don't start naming people. You leave somebody out.
Right. I think I covered down.
You should have just said, "I have a great team."
Right. And I'm so sure that I got everybody. That if I missed anybody, I'm going to take somebody to dinner twice. Pay for them and a significant other. How about that? So, but no, we have a fantastic team. I mean, they actually make me, a better business person as well. And it's been fantastic so far. And just guiding them and giving back and watching their businesses grow as it feeds into our business, as our business feeds into your business. So it's right. A really good chain.
And I feel like we learn a lot from each other.
Oh yeah.
Even though we've had our license, for 13 years, teaching other people and, getting their feedback, it definitely makes us grow.
And so, I grow too. And so the Monday night meetings, as I'm preparing for them, I actually look forward to them because, there's going to be something that you guys will say, the agents, that will inspire me. And so even with all these years of experience, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I still get inspired. But as far as your team, I think the success of your team is because of you guys. You guys are really good leaders, and agents want to be part of an association or organization that has great leadership. And that's the number one thing that people want. People will tell you they want leads but they want leadership. They want training. They want to grow. They want to be motivated and inspired. And that's what you guys do for your team. And I see that, and they talk very highly of you guys. So, Dina said that, you, Darren, is, has been a leader. And so you're kind of destined for this position and probably destined to, grow this to the point like I grew my team. And then the next logical step to scale my business was to, have my own brokerage. And so I see that for you guys in the near future, probably sooner than you know. There's some steps involved. I think we talked, was it yesterday we talked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some steps involved that you're going to have to master, and then figure out that balance between, spending time with the team versus spending time on your own personal business. So there's a balance there, but the sky's the limit. And so one thing I'm very proud of is that you took a leap of faith. And so a lot of us have done that. I certainly had to do that, and you did that. And so what was that like? You took a leap of faith. You left a very comfortable position with the federal government where you had succeeded at the highest level. I know there were some conversations in the household about whether you should do it or not.
Yeah.
I know Dina, she loves her Bowie, Maryland lifestyle.
Yeah, the housewife of Bowie. And the funny thing is, all the housewives actually have jobs, so it doesn't really matter. But
so what was that? What was that conversation like in the household? So I knew it was over a few months to when you actually took the leap. What was that like?
Yeah. So you say a few months, but it's probably ever since I've entered the workforce. Dina has already knew, like, at a certain point, I'm gonna, kind of move from being employed to self-employed, and then move to like a business owner. So,
right.
Kind of a little bit of cash flow quadrant for those who know. So that's kind of the path I'm on right now. So we've always kind of talked about it, and, I think Dina was getting sick of, me coming home and talking about like my employed job, because our philosophies on that are pretty different. And that's a whole nother story. But so yeah, we had the conversation, and, because we've been building up for this for 13 years, since we've been in, really got serious about real estate. I mean, it was just a matter of time. And, I just kind of looked at where we were financially. We'd always been fiscally responsible. We'd always, had done things in a more conservative manner. And then we basically ended up just kind of talking about it. And at the point where we started to, the real decision came. My values are my faith, my belief in God, health next. I believe that, we have to be healthy because we'll be no good to anybody if we're not healthy. Family, and then it was pretty much our business and real estate, and then everything else, right? So when I was working, I could manage things outside of that work life because I would just cut out any frivolous activities or, any bad habits that I may have, or, at the time I was not watching barely any TV or anything like that, because I needed that time to work on the business.
What about reality TV?
So if I was watching that, it was outside of my business. I got my business plan, and what was happening is I would be watching that stuff, but I'd be losing sleep, right? And so once my real estate started getting some real traction, and the team was coming on board, it would, those activities started to eat into like family time. And so that was a no-no for me, or my faith time. And so once that happened, that's when, we had to kind of really sit down and say, hey, look, we've been probably financially ready for years, for me to just kind of move into real estate full time and business ownership full time. However, it took that, it took the fear of maintaining both, cutting into my family time, that really was a catalyst for the decision to say, look, we got our ducks in a row. There's never going to be a good time to do this. And then the other thing I also believe was the main point to this was always thinking about myself like, hey, in 20 years, if I keep on going the same way, keep on staying comfortable in this job, and I never do this, in 20 years, will I regret myself? Regret not doing it, or will I kind of harshly call myself a coward because I didn't do it or I didn't try. I never want to say that I should have or I could have been this great real estate guy. Well, now, I'll know in 20 years.
And so what was that decision like for you, Dina?
So the decision came a little earlier than we expected. We were anticipating later on in this year, but at a point, on a Sunday, he kind of made a decision, and Monday morning was like, I'm done. There's really no good time, even though we're forecasting, we'll do it this or we'll do it this time. He's like, I'm ready to take the leap of faith. So it was a little scary because, we've been comfortable, like he said, with our regular jobs make us comfortable. And then real estate is just the icing on the cake. So, when that was, that was a little rough, but, like he said, we've been planning for this. He's we're financially stable. He's been planning for this. So, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, also, so speaking about the timeline, so I think when you and I had our first conversation, I was on a 7-year timeline. I don't know if you remember that conversation.
I remember.
Yeah, because I was always kind of pegged it to trying to retire from earned income when I hit 50. Right, so I'm 43, and I remember you doing some math, and we talked about my salary, which I have a decent salary. I had a decent salary. That. I was usually 15 in the government, and once that math happened, that cut down from like 7 years to 1 year, because I think that was kind of around my birthday, and I kind of came home. I said, I think I'm gonna next year for my birthday, I'm retired. I'm gonna resign. That's my birthday present. Which would have been this coming October. And then I think I actually, the funny thing is I got to give Tarsha Philibert with PRMG some props too, because I remember talking with her. She had a very similar situation that I was in, where it was just things were just very stressful trying to do both. And so she had some very encouraging words. Of course, I talked with the rest of my advisors, who all supported me, like my friends, and one of them even said, "Hey, look, man, you ever need 20,000, you just let me know." So like everybody was always pulling for me in my circle, and I think that's if you go to advice, that's one of the things. You got to have people in your circle that really care about you. And so it ended up with that being said, that 7 year became a 1 year, then that 1 year became a half a year, and then that day the half a year became a month. And then, that month became 2 weeks. So that but Dean is kind of like, wait, whoa, we were at
what just happened?
So,
but it's good. You guys will look back at this. I mean, you'll look back at this and say, I should have did this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So you'll definitely say that, and then you just like get up every morning. Just get up every morning and do your thing. So what I do is I plan the night before, and kind of I do a to-do list, and then I have my morning routine, and then I get up and go, because you've got to bet on yourself. You got to bet on yourself. You don't have a paycheck coming in every 2 weeks. But for me, part of my motivation, and you've got to know what your motivation is family. And I know you're a family man. And so that's like for every man, that's your major responsibility. And so part of the decision that you made was to better provide for your family. And so that's a big responsibility that, we don't talk about, but it's a major responsibility. So when I took the leap of faith, which was, I was around 26, 27, I actually didn't, at that time, I took a leap of faith and left. I was a federal contractor. I was a contractor for the federal government. I had all the clearances and all that kind of stuff. My last position, I was a senior systems analyst and my contract was with the CIA. But like you, it was just very, very difficult to go in every day. I'd go in and start doing my work outside of the office, businesses I had at the time. And one day I just said, enough is enough. Like if I'm gonna, I tell the story. I won't tell it now, but I had to work like a 24-hour shift. I was working on a program that took 24 hours, and there was no real thank you. And I said to myself, if I have to work 24 hours again, it's going to be for me. Mm. And I'm going to, control my own destiny. So I like you, gave him a 2 weeks notice, and I was out of there and hadn't looked back. But it's good that you've done that. Your children will be able to see that, their parents are entrepreneurs, their parents are risk takers. Their parents have, provided a wonderful life for them. And so you guys should be applauded. And so we're talking about all this good stuff. Any challenges on like building the team, or any mistakes, challenges, anything like that?
So far so good. It's just I guess the challenges are for me is that I have some awesome mentors. You know what I mean? And it's getting all of their advice and then trying to pattern that for what fits your actual situation, because you can get your mentor's advice and everything, but everybody's situation is different. And so, I think that's one of the challenging things, just trying to still kind of blaze my own way, because everybody's way is unique. And then the luckily I've just been, blessed with some great teammates. So I think just trying to, I have a very high standard for myself. So just trying to be there for them when they need me. And reality gets in the way of that sometimes, but, just making sure you always follow back up with people, try to remain, stay positive, with that. So to try to overcome those, to get realistic, I mean, obviously a big challenge is, I lost a huge salary, so that doesn't come in. I think it's a mental challenge for me. Luckily, not luckily, but God has blessed us with enough real estate sales last year and commissions and so on and so forth to kind of fund us with, for this year and next year. And then, of course, we had enough savings and investing and rental properties and things of that nature, where when I calculated my financial freedom number, we had almost 6 to 8 years that Dina and I could do nothing, not have an income, and still live the same lifestyle, meaning vacations, cars, house, note paid, all that. Of course, we'd be running out of money and getting rid of, 401k plans and things of that nature. But so that's a big challenge is, getting over the realization that, like, Dad, did I just leave a job that I have I can park in the VIP parking deck, generally had, 80 people that I managed through 5 people, that I could tell do what I need to get done, those type of things, my own office with a TV in it, that closed door and lock it. Those type of things.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a challenge, kind of getting over those things, building out. Once I resigned, there was a lot more things that I wasn't as prepared as I was prepared, right, with all the big things, but the little things start to creep up. What's the best decision for the team? And I know it's the best decision for me, but what about the team? And, right. Those type of challenges are the things that I think were becoming frustrating and difficult, because I kind of had this, maybe, I don't know if it's an unrealistic expectation that I was just going to kind of come out and be able to focus on my clients and then, just be killing it. Right. But then, you come out and you wake up every day trying to figure out, okay, well, how can I help my team's business grow? You know what I mean? And it's not even really about your business at all, so.
No. Yeah. I mean, and so you and I talked about this yesterday. And so as I said, you have a responsibility to your family, to Dina and your 2 children, but then you also have a responsibility to your team members. And so I have a responsibility to, my employees and all of my agents, because they're looking at me as, to be the leader, but to also better their lives. Now, I know that if I focus on bettering their lives, my support staff, my agents, if I can play a role in bettering their lives and helping them succeed at a high level, the byproduct of all that is I'm going to be successful too. But the focus has to be, as leaders of teams, as of businesses, the focus has to be on the people. And so you're leveraging throughout all of the people, and the more people you have, you said that you managed 80 people, and I kind of chuckled to myself. You managed those 80 people, but they were for somebody else's business. In this case, the federal government. Just imagine managing 80 agents and focused on getting all of them successful and trying your best to get them to live up to their fullest potential. The byproduct of all that is you're going to be successful, but the focus has to be on them. Mm-hmm. And if you spend too much time focused on yourself, you're going to neglect all that potential out there with all of your agents, and you actually make more money doing it that way. And so what I've seen over the years is there's been some great agents, that's been here. I've been at Realty Solutions and other brokerages, and I'm thinking of an agent right now that's not with our brokerage, but another brokerage. I see this guy just hustling. I saw one of his posters at one of those bus kind of depot type things. And I always think to myself when I see that, like, this dude needs to build a team. He should have a brokerage by now. He could probably be making 10 times more money by helping others do the same thing that he's done. Mm. And then, so that's the same thing for you. Like, you're going to kill it. I mean, you already are. You told me some numbers yesterday. And so you're going to kill it with this time that you have now since you left, but you got to keep expanding on that. And then one thing I'll say for the real estate agents that are listening now and will listen later is kind of my blueprint was this book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller. I'm sure you have that book. You work for his company. And towards the back of the book, he talks about the 7th level agent. Like, he gives you the blueprint. If you want to be a millionaire real estate agent, he gives you the blueprint. And that's the blueprint. Like, that book is the blueprint, but we try to get to the different levels. Like, we're always trying to level up. We're always trying to scale. And so that's really what you're doing. And you'll eventually 10 times the amount of money that you made with the federal government being comfortable. Now you're a little uncomfortable, and you'll make 10 times more money.
Awesome.
And so in terms of like work-life balance, you talked about vacations. What you guys do for work-life balance? So I know Dina's not allowing you just to work.
Actually, the funny thing is when he came out, he was just like working night and day, even more than he was when he was, in the government. And then it was like, okay, you have to find some balance. I know all your time is your time now, but so that was a little challenging for him because he is such a hard worker, dedicated. He wants to do everything for his team. So we get up every morning. We take our kids to school. We exercise together. And then we start our days. We do little things like lunch here and there. Now, since we're both at home. And what else do we do?
There was a vacation. Didn't you get like an Airbnb somewhere? Was it in Florida?
Yes. So we do vacations. We do family vacations. We actually took all of our family.
Who happen to be clients, by the way.
Yeah, all of them are clients. And then we do vacations with our children, and then we do our own vacations. We're actually going on a vacation, the two of us. So we make sure we get away. We're actually getting away this weekend, just the two of us for our anniversary.
And so do you allow Darren to work while he's on vacation?
I do, because he is dedicated, and I do want him to not neglect certain people and things that come up. So he does find a balance. It's funny because we always say when we go on vacation, that's when everything is going crazy. Like we had last year, we had 5 closings the week we were in St. Martin, and so we're like,
And then to me, I'm like, we need to go on vacation more, because that trend, every time we go out of the country, it's like, everybody wants to buy and sell. You know what I mean? So which is fantastic for us.
Right.
But yeah, we get away. We get away with friends and everything on
friends,
vacations and stuff
friends.
like that too. But also, I feel like, as soon as I resign, I'll tell you, like, the lifestyle I live right now is worth half my salary, in my opinion. It just, I feel way healthier. I'm still trying to work out, like, getting what my day is going to be like. I think I'm getting better at that, and then also, like, because because it's for me, and then I also love what I do. I always, post, you always see me with the hashtag real estate lifestyle or realtor lifestyle. Like, it doesn't bother me to sit on the beach and close a deal, or sit on the beach or and help somebody, or, help my team, solve an issue. Like, that doesn't bother me one bit, because I look at, okay, well, what else would I be doing? I'd probably just be reading something, or, you know what I mean? Something random, or scrolling through IG, but I'm actually out there closing the deal. And that's my kind of lifestyle, So
and we also incorporate our kids into, like, ever since they were little, we would take them to investment properties. We would look at, like, properties he would flip, and they're, these properties are disgusting. And, and so, they're like, oh gosh, do we have to go to the dirty house? And, it's so funny, the comments that come out of there, but they're so used to it now. Like, we'll tell them, oh, we have to go look at an investment property. Come on. Darren takes, Carter or Alexa, with him when he's, showing properties and looking at them for ourselves. They know that they help him put signs in the yard and open the lockbox with them and things like that. So,
they get paid for that too.
Yeah.
And it teaches them a lot, because I do remember, we're going to the dirty house, but then when they see us fixing the dirty house up, and then getting to pick some of the colors out and some of the materials we're using, of course, within our limits, what we're trying to do. And then they see the final product, and then we do go over the financials with them to kind of say, hey, this is what happened. And so they know a lot about real estate, and they've come to, come around to it. I think one wants to be an architect, and the other one, he's definitely going to be a sales person. He can close anything. From a sales perspective. So
well, they're learning from the best.
Striving to be. Yeah.
I'm interested to know. So what's the dynamic between you guys being a married couple in business together? What's that like? And then you give each other support? Do you sometimes have to give each other distance? What's that whole dynamic like?
Well, it's it actually, we think very similar on things. Well,
I don't know about that.
not necessarily.
We have very similar goals when it comes to the big picture of how things are.
Yeah. Our visions are different. I'm more of the empathetic one, and so
that's true.
Yeah, I'm very empathetic and looking at the bright side of things and, turning it that way. And then Darren, I think with his background from, with, his job, he's driven, so sometimes I have to, I give him advice. Sometimes he's receptive. Sometimes he has to think about it. And then we'll come to a happy medium. We don't get into arguments over business. Because we've been doing it so long together, even before we got our license, he's always had some sort of business going on. So he is definitely more entrepreneurial spirited. My background is completely science. And so we have different backgrounds. That's actually why, I had to study more for the test. But we balance each other very well. Like we work very well together. Ironically, even as husband and wife.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with everything on that. I would say like I'm definitely more big picture visionary. I live in the future. Dina kind of, is more, she knows more of the details and, will help me come back to the present, and figure out, what we need to do. And then also, we've always just like, even our personal lives, I feel like we've always just kind of gravitated to different roles, probably because, we always had similar ideals on, how to raise a family, or what some of our core principles are with raising children, or doing finances, or, like all the big things we are very similar in. How we get there, that's where we have the conversations on how to get to one side. But I think depending on what it is, it's kind of like she kind of leads X, Y, and Z, and I lead A, B, and C, and but we also value each other's opinion. And then sometimes, like even in business, her idea is just better than mine. And now those are when I have to kind of come back and be like, yeah, I didn't like what you were saying at the time, or how you were saying it. So how you're saying it can be one of those things as well, because sometimes she'll say it like, sometimes I can speak so matter of factly sometimes, but she got a little matter of fact on her as well. She's the quiet one.
Okay, I'm surprised.
Around me, she's definitely an extrovert when it comes around me, and then I'm actually the introvert, probably, I would say, when we're together.
Darren, tell us a little more about her being extroverted around you.
Well, pretty much
Does she yell at you?
I don't sugarcoat it, I guess, and I have to learn how to be a little like approach it a little bit softer sometimes, when I'm giving advice, because
she gives the business out. Don't let that fool you. She gives the business out.
Yeah,
you gotta be strong.
We play to our strengths. Yeah, he does have to be strong. So sometimes I'm like, okay, let me word this nicely to so he'll be receptive to this idea. So that's what I'm actually learning now that he's here, because he bounces a lot of stuff off of me to get my opinion before he, goes forward with certain things, just to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
It's good that you guys have each other to bounce ideas off of and to talk to. I think that's really good.
Yeah. So I know pretty much everything that's going on, or we debrief each other as far as like all of his transactions, what's going on with the team.
Did you just use one of my words? Debrief?
I know. I've heard him say that so much in his government career. But yeah, so we do, he'll give me a summary of like what's going on, catch me up to speed. I am CC'd on everything. But we do sit down when we're having lunch, and even this weekend we have a lot to go through and talk about. So yeah, we make sure we're both in sync with everything that's going on. Yeah, even though he's more at the forefront, I'm more of, in the background.
And so as we kind of wrap up, what's your future goals? Where do you want to be, let's say 3 years from now?
Yeah, I would. You want to go first? I would say I envision ourselves 3 years from now. For the agents that are on our team and are still around in that 3 years from now, I want to encourage them to kind of get where we're at. If we have some dual. I don't like to say dual agents or whatever. I like to say like multiple income agents, because they just they're just earning some money on the employee side, but then they also have real estate sales. So I'd like to see them start resigning and then building their own teams, and I would like to help them with that. 3 years, I definitely still see us at the brokerage there. I see myself expanding. Right now, we're licensed in DC, in Maryland. I see us expanding to Virginia, and actually one of our teammates is in Pennsylvania. So, I see us expanding gradually. I definitely see us growing beyond, maybe 10 to maybe reaching a 20 agent range at that point. We're at 8 licensed agents, including us right now. So, we'll continue to build that infrastructure, continue to provide better service to our agents, better service to our clients, and just continually move in that direction. I see myself in the reason why I say helping the agents that are with us and are still around with us at that time grow their teams is because I'd like to start to focus on not being in so much production, gradually weaning myself out of the business and really having my top agents on our team handling my clients, the ones that I wouldn't dare give up right now. I'd like to train them into, serving them while I'm moving out more for, investments and things of that nature. And then I also just kind of see that progression going on. So kind of like what I was saying earlier, when I was saying you're kind of staying out ahead of everything that's going on in the brokerage by adding on the other businesses and other services to the agents, kind of the same thing, following those footsteps for my team. Yeah. So that's what I see in 3 years.
Good. What about you, Dina? Where are you 3 years?
I do still plan on having my full-time job, but still definitely being in a supportive role, helping Darren. A lot of times, like I would be the one that identifies investment properties, and then we go and see them. So getting more into, we do have properties we rent out, but definitely getting on a trajectory of buying more per year than we've been able to do right now. Now that he's, doing real estate full time. So yeah, pretty much investing more, growing the team, supporting the team, and yeah, those are things that I see.
Well, I think that's good. And then just kind of just learning.
Right, learning.
As I, I've been investing for a long time, and so now I'm of the mindset that I want to maximize each opportunity as it relates to my investment properties. And so now I want to either turn my buy and holds into assisted living facility, which I've been studying, or Airbnb, which I've also been studying. And so, and just taking advantage of all the nuances and the new things in the industry. And then for me, passing them on to people like you to say, it's good to rent out a property and get $1,000 a month. That's excellent. $1,000 a month in positive cash flow is excellent, but $5,000 a month in positive cash flow is even better. And so if you could do that with little to no extra stress, why not do that? And so it just takes a little bit of research, a little bit of reading. And so that's Airbnb. And so I have a property in Annapolis, and I talked to my tenants on, I think it was Saturday. I went out there. They were having some issues. And Annapolis is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful area for Airbnb because you've got things going on all throughout the year with the boat show and the Naval Academy and all of that. And Annapolis is a city that there's no restrictions on Airbnb. You don't even need a license for Airbnb. You can rent that property out every day of the year, as opposed to like Prince George's County, Maryland, where you need a short-term rental license. You can only rent the properties out for 90 days a year, or 180 days if you're renting out like your basement or something like that. You also live there. And so just kind of learning all of those things and maximizing opportunities is kind of where I see you all going. But I do see greatness. I do see the right type of mindset that you need to have in order to be successful. And so my advice to you guys is just to stay on that path. But at the same time, be bold, be a little daring, and just keep striving for the best. And, I would say to you guys, the best is yet to come, because awesome. you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
You really are. And you're role models, and you're just a shining example of, just kind of doing things the right way. And so, yeah, you guys are awesome. Any advice, you guys, for some of the agents out here that are looking, people who want to get into real estate investing? Any advice?
Yeah, But she's pointing at me on down here, to talk.
She's
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
done. Darren Dina's actually done very well.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I surprised myself.
I knew she'd get out there, right? Yeah, I would just say, map out your plan, and go do it. I would definitely say, get a call with you. Absolutely. I think, like I said, you decreased my resigning from the federal government from 7 years to like what?
Don't put that on me.
Oh yeah, you like how I did that. You like how I did that, right? But I mean, it's pretty much true. I think that you can go for it. I mean, I think I always kind of tell my team like, hey, yeah, we're a real estate team that's focused on sales. However, you need to, we're focused on sales to generate enough commission GCI or gross commission income so we can invest it. So,
Right.
or use that to buy stocks or use that to buy crypto, whatever it is you are in. My team is designed to focus, results oriented agents on real estate sales so they can build their wealth and therefore increase their legacy at the same time. So I would say go ahead and do it. It's not what it's not what it is on TV. I think, we cringe when, when I would watch the reality TV, I like watching that and see how fake it is. Because you deal with
It's better than watching football, isn't it?
Right. So, yeah, I would say just go ahead and do it. Definitely build your support team first, right? And your support team might not necessarily be the team that you're using to execute your plan. I've always had I've always been blessed with a great family, a great, of friends, and when I say family, I'm generally talking about, my friends that I consider brothers and sisters and things of that nature. They, rely on them. Hang out with people who are doing what you want to do, and it'll start to rub off on you. And just go out there and do it. Believe in yourself. I was kind of saying, one of my challenges was the financial issue. Well, I had to start looking at it as, well, let's say that I didn't sell a real estate transaction and I had to sell one of my investment stock portfolios to fund, my lifestyle or my business, right? I would look at that as, me in general would look at that as a negative, but I would now look at that as, no, I'm making an investment in my own business of my time, and I'll get that investment back 100 fold. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely shift your mindset from the comfort of jobs, really do your research, save your money, and, calculate your freedom number. How long could you go if you depleted all your resources, cash resources, everything? And, I think that was when I did that. I think you had talked about that on one of your sales calls. So when I did that and I realized that I could live for almost 6 to 8 years without doing nothing, Dina and I, and I knew that the chances of that happening was zero, me not making any money, that made the decision a lot easier. So go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those things are important. And you guys are really conscious about preparing yourselves financially, preparing your children's future financially, not outliving your income. So you guys are really fiscally responsible. One last question is, where does all that come from? Because you even came in last week, I believe it was, and to meet with one of my insurance advisors, because you want to make sure that you're being responsible in terms of having the proper insurances and all that kind of thing. And so, where does that come from? Because you guys seem like you've been conscious of all those things at a very sort of young age. So where does all that come from?
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's my mom and dad. My dad, to me is a consummate businessman. The way he organizes his affairs and things of that nature. And I think that, he's kind of given me, the knowledge, resources, and know-how to expand what he's already built. You know what I mean? So far as that, but also I like the fact that he lets me do it independently as well. So like I don't, ask him. Well, now I could, but and I'm pretty sure he would, but that's kind of like my smoking gun. But I think it's his, like I said, he had the properties, and just the example that he set for me, set that off. So for instance, I hope you don't kill me for, telling all his business, but, he had rental properties, and those rental properties paid for my brother and I's college education. So we were ahead of that. Right. And he's always sat us down and said, you've got to do one step above what the last generation just did for you. So, in ours, we now our kids are bilingual, and we'll obviously pay for their college. And then now they'll have a choice to go to the working world for a little bit or take over whatever enterprises that we have in the next 15 years or 10 years or so when they graduate. So that, and then the other part for me is my circle of friends. I have, a couple of people. I don't know if I could shout them out, but
no, because you're gonna get one, so don't do it.
Got you. Right. So I have a couple guys. People ask me, they're great mentors to me. They all are handling their own rights in their businesses, and they're very supportive. About talking about, and we're just a group of guys, and I'm sure she has her networks that we talk about these things, our health, going to the doctor every year, what the type of tests we should be getting, estate planning, those type of things. We talk about all those things. We also have a marriage group that we get online with every other week. And we talk about those type of things there. So really just my support network of family and friends have really let us know in these areas, what we should be doing, how we should be doing, and so on and so forth. Of course, I do a lot of my own research as well.
Good.
So yeah, I think he said most of it, but just briefly, I think when we got together, we were both very goal oriented, and because we bought our first house at 20, we built our first house at 22 or 23 years old, and then we built every house ever since, even coming to Maryland. So we just had like goals from the beginning, and which has helped us, do like kind of stay on the path that we envisioned for ourselves.
Good. All right, you guys. So, so Darren, give a shout out to the D&D home sales team. And if you're looking, if anybody out here who's a real estate agent, looking to be on a team, whether you're already with Bennett Realty Solutions or not, give these guys a call. They run a wonderful team full of systems and tools and technology and all those types of things, leads. But I think the biggest thing is the leadership. And we all need leadership. We all need coaching, mentorship, and that's the biggest thing that they have and that they provide. How do they get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, so they can call us. We're at 443-595-7814. That's my cell phone number there. We have our website. It's www.dndhomesales.com. There you can look at each of our agents and their bios and select who you might want to talk with to see what our team is like. In our Instagram, I believe Dina is just Dina Mitchell. Her name is spelled differently, so it's DEANAH, Mitchell with 2 L's. And on Instagram, I am Mr. DMV Real Estate. And then on Facebook, you just find us at Darren Mitchell, and my name is spelled DARIN Mitchell. I have been hacked recently several times. So, and then our Facebook handle is at dndhomesales.com. Our D&D home sale group got hacked there. So it looks like a retail store right now. So, so somebody overseas hacked us on that one. So, but yeah, so be careful, send me a friend request. I'll friend you, hit me on Instagram, like me, I'll like you back. And, by all means, they can reach out.
Okay. And then if you missed it, like Cynthia Graham missed your number, you can always either call me or call our office here at Bennett Realty Solutions, and they'll put you in touch with them. So look, you guys, I kind of kept you overtime.
Worse.
Hopefully you're not past your lunch. Because I know, Darren, you got to get your 3 meals in and then your late night snack. So I apologize. Hopefully, like not a raging maniac when we get off of this. Dina, can you hurry up and feed him?
Gracious.
You know it's coming. What we got for lunch as soon as we hang up, and then that's when I start getting all those curt and sound advice. I'd say from my wife. So
go easy on him, Dina. All right, you guys. This has been good. This has been fun. I appreciate you guys so much, and good luck in the future. And you guys, I didn't give my I'll just put up my Instagram if you guys want to get in touch with me. You can just go to Greg Bennett Invest, or if you want to get on my schedule and talk about joining the brokerage or real estate investing, anything, is my initials GB and then schedule, gbschedule.com. You can go to gbschedule.com to schedule an appointment with me. You guys have a good Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thank you for all the
Absolutely.
support you've given us. You've definitely given me the confidence to go ahead and aspire for something more for myself, in life, and and to follow my passion. So I really appreciate everything you're doing for me. And like I said, if you ever need anything, let me know.
I keep telling you, I'm gonna hold you to that too.
All right.
All right, you guys, take care.
Okay,
All righty,
you too.
have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Okay, all right, bye.